tax sale overages program. How does it work? How can you get into this business and how can you figure it out? Well, this is Attorney Bob Diamond. I got good news for you. I have the country's biggest overages business by far, and I'm happy to teach you the business and walk you through it. I have what I'm sure is the nation's biggest tax overages business by far. So I know this business. I would love to teach it to you. So let's get into it. And at the end, I'm going to give you a resource that if you want me to teach you the business in full, I'm happy to do so. With the tax overages program, the components are pretty simple. Step one is we get a list of people owed overages money. That list is going to show the person who's owed the money, the amount of money that they're owed, and a way for you to get the property address. Often it just has the address on it. Sometimes it just has the parcel number and you have to use that. But just in an overview, that's what the list is going to give you. So there you got your list of leads. It's great. Those lists are typically free, don't cost you a penny. They're publicly available, very easily accessible, and there are thousands and thousands of leads out there at any given time. So very easy to get the leads. That's step one, get your leads. Step two, you have to find the contact information for the person. So there are ways that you can look up very easily using the internet and get a person's email address, their cell phone number, the address they're living at, and even all the address and contact information for their relatives so that you can reach out to them. You can send them a letter. You can pick up the phone and call them. You can send them a message on Facebook. So that's the skip tracing is the second part of it. And the third part of the business is reaching out to the person and saying the right words, because this is really where the heart of this business is. You know, frankly, it's pretty easy for me to teach you and for you to learn the list getting simple. Skip tracing takes a little more information, a little more training, but still not all that hard. But the core of this business is talking to someone who is going to be skeptical. You know, when we call people, they're not like, oh, I'm so glad you called Mr. Diamond. I'm so thrilled because where do I sign? I want to get my money. No. They don't do that. These are people who lost their house at tax sale. What they do is they're like, yeah, right. I'm owed $50,000, sure. And Santa Claus is stopping by my house in an hour to drop it off, right? That's what they're thinking. They're thinking that you're full of nonsense. So we had to work really, really hard to figure out a call script that worked, meaning words that you say that walk people from complete disbelief to someone saying, you know what, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this because it makes sense. And it makes sense because the offer that you're going to make them, the offer we make them, the same. I'll go get the money for a percentage if and when I'm successful. If we're not successful, it doesn't cost you a penny. So why not give this a shot? But people are skeptical and you need to spend time with them and you need the right words to say. And you need to build rapport with them. You need to build trust, and that's how you're going to close the deals. And also, don't be too hard on yourself. You're not going to close every deal. We don't even close every deal. There are people that just are not willing to hear you out. And if they're not willing to hear you out, then you're just not going to get anywhere with it, and don't worry about it. We'd like to help everybody, but you can't help everybody. So just realize that some people won't be helped. So once you get through that part where they've said, okay, I'm going to give this a shot, I'm willing to give it a try, then you need to sign them up under a fee agreement and some associated paperwork, including an assignment, a power of attorney, a cover letter. You need a few things, a form. So you need all those things. So you're going to need to get those drafted. So, those are things that should be done by an attorney. Especially your fee agreement and your power of attorney really need to be done by an attorney, because chance of you doing it right as a non-attorney is pretty slim. And you don't want your fee, which could be tens of thousands of dollars, resting on a faulty document. That makes no sense at all. And if the power of attorney isn't right, it may not be usable and you may lose the whole deal in the end. So we need to make sure that doesn't happen. So get those drafted professionally. You need to cover all the valid points, making sure someone won't circumvent you, try to get the money themselves once they know where it is. And by the way, quick note, don't tell them where the money is until after they've signed up with you as a client and when you submitted the claim. Don't go telling them up front, because those people, some of them will circumvent you, and you don't want to be a research service where you're finding out where the money is and you're helpfully informing people, then they just go do it themselves. That's not really what you want to do. You have to just, as part of your call script, don't tell them where the money is. Just tell them you found money that they're eligible to claim, and your business is helping them to get that money. So once you get all the paperwork together, then you need to submit it. And make sure also, if you get anything that has something different, like it's an estate or it's a corporation or an LLC that owned the property, make sure that you talk to your attorney about, how do you submit that claim? How do you put that claim together? Because those have some distinctions in them. Then you submit the claim. The government will generally just process it at that point. You usually don't need to do too much back and forth at that point. Then when you get the money back in, you take the money, you deposit it in your bank account, send them their portion, keep your portion, and go on to your next deal. As I've been talking about, obviously there's a lot to this business because everything that we do, the devil is in the details, right? Like you say, oh, I just ate a delicious dinner. That was easy. I think I'll just cook one next time. Well, you try and cook a delicious dinner. It takes a lot of work and effort and planning and expertise and experience. And when you talk about a business where you're going to be recovering hopefully hundreds of thousands of dollars for people over time, it merits some professional attention and advice. And what I would tell you, at the risk of sounding too self-serving, I teach this business. I've been doing this business since 2014. I know the business inside out. I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney since 1995, so I know that part of the business. I do this business. I teach this business, and I'm happy to teach you if it's a business you're interested in. The way you can find out more, because I'd like to give you more details on it. So what you should do is click on the link to see my Intro to the Overages business video, which is either up there if your browser supports it, or down below me if your browser doesn't support the on-screen link. Go watch that video. There I walk you through the Overages business, tell you what's involved, and at the end, if you'd like me to teach you the business, I'm happy to do so. The kind of person, in my opinion, that this business is right for is someone who both wants to help people and wants to make great money for themselves and their family and to take care of the people they care about. I think that when your heart goes out to helping people, this is a great business for you. If you're just in it just to grab money, I don't think it's really the kind of business that you should be in. I don't want to teach you, so I'd ask you just please don't even buy my course or get involved with it because I'm not interested in working with you. I'm interested in working for people and with people that truly want to help their clients recover from a terrible situation and to get a fresh start in life. That's the person I'm interested in working with. That being said, when you think about yourself, I get people that just want to build a big business, like, hey, I'm looking for a new entrepreneurial opportunity. This sounds like a good one. You can build a great business with this. I built a multi-million-dollar overages business. I have people doing all the steps. I have people that get the leads. I have people that do the skip tracing to get the contact information. I have people that reach out to the folks by letter and by phone, signing them up, and I have people that submit the claims. I'm a business owner. I measure the key operating indicators. I get reports. I work with my people. I bring in new staff as needed. I train people. I do all the management part and have a great business. And it's an expanded, scaled up business. Other people may be in retirement. They're like, if I could just do 5 or 6 deals a year and make some great side money, and instead of just scruffing by on Social Security, instead I can have a really robust life. I can do traveling, have extra money, no money stress. Absolutely, this is perfect for that kind of person. Great for someone who wants to retire early. Maybe you've just had enough of whatever you're doing and you're ready for something new. This is a great business you can start on the side. And as the business grows, when it grows to the point where it's replaced your job income, hey, it's time to say goodbye to your boss and let him know that you're on to new and greener pastures. And then you go off to your overages business and you can grow it from there, or you can just have it as a lifestyle business. We're like, no, I have that. I still have my income I always had, but I don't work as much. I'm my own boss. I really enjoy it. Can be great for that. It's a really good business. And the other things I like about it, it doesn't have a lot of operating expenses. You don't have to have a big staff. I have a big staff that I've built over the past 10 years. That's a different thing than when I first started out. It was me in an office, and I was doing everything, and it was great. I eventually scaled up so I could make more and in some ways do less, but you don't have to do that. You can have it at either level. So if this sounds interesting to you, if you're here with me this long, it definitely does. Go click on the video for the Intro to Overages, or click down below if you see it there. And that give you an introduction to the business, give you all the pluses and minuses. And at the end, if you want me to teach you the business, I'm happy to do so. So this is Attorney Bob Diamond. I will see you over at the Intro to the Overages business video.